Bother. Okay. Okay, now we should be getting audio. Okay, it was an OBS problem. Apologies, anyone. Apologies, everyone. For some reason, OBS decided to switch to another audio thing, and I didn't notice until just now. So let me say all that again. Welcome to the Space Game Junkie Podcast. Here are all the co-hosts. Hello, everyone. I wanted to apologize because we didn't have a podcast the last couple of weeks. I got hit with COVID, and it knocked me down real hard. And I just want to say, if you haven't gotten vaccinated and you can get vaccinated, like if you don't have a medical condition that prevents you from getting vaccinated, please get vaccinated. I think if I hadn't been vaccinated, I probably would have been in the hospital. I barely left the couch for like 3 days.
Well, let me take it one step further. If you're listening to this podcast and you are against the idea of getting vaccinated and boosted,
please stop listening to this podcast.
Please stop listening to us. Leave the community. We are better off without you. We don't want you here.
I will back that up because there's no reason, unless you have a medical condition, like you're allergic to something in the vaccine or something like that. Unless you have a medical condition, there's no reason not to get vaccinated.
Then we feel sorry for you because you.
Oh God, because that sucks so bad. I can't. I have a friend who's going through like 2 forms of cancer. She's immunocompromised, and I don't think she can get one of the vaccines.
Because, even a vaccine would fuck you up in that state.
Right. Yeah. I think she can't get one of them. Like, I think she couldn't get Moderna because it would mess her up too much. So she had to get something like, I think she had to get Pfizer even, which isn't as good as, it's better than nothing, but like she couldn't get Moderna, for example, because, so friends, yes, if you can get vaccinated, I beg you to do so, because I can tell you from experience, I can't imagine what it would have felt like to have COVID and not be vaccinated.
Well, I can, because I went through it.
Did you?
It wasn't fun.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah, got the bloody thing. Now, admittedly, it was less terrible than I expected it to be, but I'm also 22 and have the immune system equivalent of the Maginot Line. So I went through it relatively mildly, but it wasn't greatest. Also, I'm pretty sure it gave me mild hearing loss in my right ear.
Oh, fuck.
Which I've checked later. That is something it can very much do. It can actually permanently damage, like give you permanent neurological damage and like cause loss of hearing. So yes, get vaccinated, everyone.
Yes,
please. You know, a friend of mine put it this way when we were discussing the same issue. She said, you know, there are a lot of people who feel it's my body and this is the right that I have, but we're all in the same boat. And someone else's right to bore a hole in their own portion of the boat, that's where it ends. So you're affecting everybody else's life if you don't get vaccinated.
Agreed.
And don't think you can't get it, because a friend of mine who is vaccinated and boosted and was wearing a cloth mask was exposed for 30 seconds in an elevator, and she still got it.
Yeah, my wife got it from her student teacher at work, and she was double masked, vaccine boosted, Moderna all the way. And she it still hit her pretty bad. I got it worse because I only had Pfizer, which isn't as effective as Moderna.
Well, I don't actually remember which one I got, but I mean, I caught the damn thing before vaccines were even out yet. So I had an excuse for not getting one, but it was also remarkably unpleasant.
Yeah. So I know this is a video games podcast and we try to keep it light, but just wanted to say from personal experiences, at least it sounds like more than one of us now has had this. Please get vaccinated. Please, for the love of God, get vaccinated.
We really shouldn't have to say this.
We know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and if you don't want to get vaccinated, just please remove yourself from the community.
Go away.
You don't have to announce your exit. Just go. Go.
So I can't stream to Facebook for another 2 weeks because I'm gonna say this. I shared a graphic I shouldn't have. It was basically a Neil that said, "Fine, expire then," but not as politely. And you've probably all seen that one. And
Then perish.
yeah, basically. Fine, perish then. And yeah, I can't stream to Facebook for 14 more
And
days.
Facebook took offense to that. Hi.
Yeah, so we're very, I guess we're anti-vaxxer.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it
Comes
is.
down to that. Yeah, sure.
So, friends, we had some guests lined up before we had to postpone because of COVID, and we're working to get them back. We have one guest back for next week, the developer of Remnants of the Precursor. So we got him back. But I thought we'd start this little post-COVID break with just kind of a catch-up show. Kind of a what have we been playing? How have we been doing? That sort of thing. Just a kind of light, kind of chill catch up. Like, how the hell is everything going? So as I said, I got COVID. It kicked my ass, but I did get to catch up on a lot of great British television as a result. But one thing I started playing, being sick. Right before being sick was Jumpgate, which is why I had it on the stream. But I will tell you, when I was these past couple weeks, because I haven't been using the computer much because I was on the couch, I've played so much Diablo 3 on the Switch. I don't know if you guys have played the console version of Diablo 3. I never had until I got it on the Switch.
I haven't played any version of Diablo 3, but I'm listening to I'm listening.
Diablo 3 is quite good. I mean, Warhammer Inquisitor is still my favorite, but Diablo 3 is quite satisfying. And on the PC, it's good, but on the console with the gamepad controls, it's, especially on the Switch, where you can just pick it up, do a little slaying, and then put it down again, and come back to it hours later, exactly where you were. It's just kind of the perfect experience, almost. I barely started using my Switch until recently, when my favorite racing game appeared on it. And then I saw, Diablo 3's on the Switch. I like Diablo 3. It was on sale.
Adding that one to the bingo.
And the Switch is a great little machine, by the way, FYI. If you don't have a Switch and can get one, you should. It's a really great little machine. But yeah, I've
considered it, but also it is a lot of money for a whole console system. And while I could play it on mobile, I also don't have any viable TVs in my house.
You don't really need one. I've never used this thing hooked up to the TV. I use it entirely in handheld mode. It's got a really nice screen. Apparently, the OLED version that came out recently is an even nicer screen, from what I understand. But Diablo 3 looks great. Titan Quest looks great. I'm probably going to get Rebel Galaxy Outlaw on it shortly. It's just it's a surprising little machine.
I'm thinking of like, what games would I play on it that I need the Switch for? But I guess we can talk about it if we're doing just a ramble episode.
Yeah, we're doing a ramble episode. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're doing a ramble episode.
Because a lot of the games that are on the Switch are ported over. So what I'm primarily looking for is like exclusives and stuff like the Super Mario Bros. Games are interesting. There's like the games I would want to play the most are the Fire Emblem games because they seem like my thing.
I've been playing
potentially the new Metroids.
I had a Fire Emblem game on the damn thing. I just don't remember which one. I've played it a little bit. You would probably love it. Yeah, you would probably love this thing. Hang on, which Fire Emblem is this? Fire Emblem
probably?
Three Houses. That's the one I have.
Oh, that one. Yeah, it's one of the 3 ones on the Switch, and I've heard a lot about them. There's one that people don't like, one that people like, and one that people really like, and I don't remember which one that is.
Well,
Three Houses is the one people really like.
Yeah, I got it as a gift, and I like it. And there's also some, like, I also think you'd like Xenoblade Chronicles. That's a great game, and I think you would like that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a great game, and I have it on the Switch. No. It's really great.
I am still slightly mad because I played Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U back when people played that. Then I sold it off because I didn't like it, and then I realized that holy hell, that was probably one of the better JRPGs I've ever played. It was just on a console that no one had.
Yeah,
I got to talk about it.
Yeah, this Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch is great. And the ports are great too. I just started playing, well, besides Diablo, Dragon's Dogma was on sale. And so I picked that up, and that is great on the Switch. It is great on the Switch.
I imagine there's nothing stopping it from being great. It's a game set for controller from like 10 years? No. I'm not that old, am I?
Because it was on PS3 originally.
Originally PS3 on like 2012.
13, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 2012. Just check on the PS3 and 360. It's a game that's, and it wasn't that great looking, so it's not graphically intensive in the first place. Yeah, I see why it would work on the Switch. No questions asked.
It's great on the Switch. But Diablo 3 is like the perfect Switch game. Because you get in, you kill a bunch of stuff. Oh, I'm going to put this down. The sleep mode on the Switch, like the other Nintendo consoles, like the DS and whatnot, is great. So it works really well here as well. The Switch is a great little machine. I'm really surprised by it, especially the battery life. Like this thing can last 2 days.
Okay, apparently the more recent ones can, because I've heard that was one of the big things about the early ones.
Oh, I don't know. I got this for Christmas 2 years ago. I barely touched it for a year because I'm like, what am I going to... all the games I want to play are on PC. Why would I play this? But then I started getting, games for this thing. I want Skyrim on this thing. Julie, you played Skyrim on this, right?
Yes, and in fact, let me say, despite the fact that people think, oh my God, how can Skyrim possibly work? Oh, it'll look horrible. Look, it's been fully optimized. Yes, there is a little bit of degradation of graphics, not very much, and it runs smooth as a bunny's butt. And I took care of bunnies in college, so I know.
Yeah.
And it's nice to play it. I don't have to sit up there isolated in my room where my computer is. I can be downstairs on the sofa, kick my feet up.
Yeah, that's
look out the picture window.
Yeah, that's why I've been using the Switch a lot, because like when I didn't touch my computer for almost a week. Like it didn't turn on for almost a week because I was out in the other room on the couch. But I'm like, I still need a video game. I still need something.
Okay.
So Diablo 3 really works. Apparently Diablo 2 is also pretty good on it, but I didn't like Diablo 2 as much my own self. But yeah, I mean on the PC I've been playing more and more Warhammer Inquisitor because God, that shotgun build I found that I've been doing, oh my God, so satisfying. But yeah, I think most of my game playing has been on the Switch lately, surprisingly enough. I actually bought an SD card for it so I could put more games on it. Because it comes with like 15 gigs of space internally, which is nothing. You can maybe have one game on the damn thing at a time. Well, depending on the game, I guess. So that's what Spaz, what have you been playing?
I've been bouncing between, well, quite a few games, but Vampire Survivors is one.
Oh God!
Early access. It's
Friends,
$3.
Friends, buy that game.
Have this one,
oh my God! If you could spare $3 excuse my language. If you could spare $3, go buy Vampire Survivor. Seriously, it looks like you look at it, you're like, what the hell is this? You start playing it, you're like, what the hell is this? Next thing you know, it's 2 hours later. You're like, oh, that's what this is.
And it's great.
It's so
good.
Great.
Hold on.
It is
what the hell is this?
Okay, so it's an evasion game because you don't control when your weapons fire, but
this is more like Castlevania as a bullet hell shooter, except you were the one doing the shooting.
Yeah, so you're evading getting hit while your power-ups and weapons randomly shoot. and they can shoot left to right. They can shoot in different directions. You really don't have control over when or really where you shoot a lot of the time.
Depends on the weapon.
Yeah, it depends on the weapon.
So, yeah, I see it in front of me, and I'm just kind of confused.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You look at it and you're like, I don't. Yeah, you look at it and you're like, what is this? I don't understand. But it's $3. You start playing, and you're like, oh, okay, I get this. Because you start playing, and you have like one. You have one weapon, and they have all different types of weapons. Where like some are daggers that shoot left and right, or whichever direction you're moving. Some are whips that shoot just left and right. But some are like shoot random lightning bolts, or shoot flames or holy water or fire in random directions, or a magic wand that shoots at the closest enemy, and you can build up to 10 of these things. I think, is it 10 spaz? You can.
No. 6 weapons at a time.
6 weapons at a time.
Upgrades. Yeah, 6
weapons at a time. That's what it is. Okay.
But here's the cool thing. You get them up to level 8, and if you have the correct item as an upgrade item, then that weapon can upgrade into a new type of weapon that does major damage.
Let's slow down on the specifics. So, okay, because so it actually feels in a roundabout way kind of Dynasty Warriors in terms of what you're doing. Just
a little bit.
Looking at it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. You're basically, you have all these enemies coming at you, and you're finding ways to move through them as your weapons kill them. And as you kill them,
do their own thing.
Yeah, as you kill them, they drop little experience bubbles that you pick up. And when you pick up enough experience bubbles, you level up, and you could choose either to level up an existing weapon or like a new ability. Like some abilities give you more luck. Some abilities let your weapons fire faster. Some abilities
there's one that allows you that adds projectiles to the number of projectiles you fire. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so basically you level up a weapon, it shoots more things, basically. And so you're constantly trying to improve your character so it can do more damage to enemies, so it can kill more enemies, so you can continue to level up. And it sounds simple, and it kind of is really. It's just a simple loop. It's a very simple loop, but it's so satisfying because the longer you last, the more powerful you get, and the more things you kill, and you'll be eventually killing dozens of things at a time. And it's like,
now here's the other thing: is you only have to survive for 30 minutes. Now that sounds easy.
It's not.
I was about to.
It's not.
Is it one of those games where
it's one of those games where it ramps up? And I have 22 hours in Vampire Survivors.
It's so
because
good.
every time the dev updates the game and adds new characters and items, I go through and I get the rest of the achievements because, well, that's what I do.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a half-minute hero, like in the terms. Okay, not quite,
kind of,
but like
kind of.
It's a game that you has an upper limit of 30 minutes of playtime.
Yeah, and then you have multiple characters. There's a secret character you can unlock, and the characters and weapons and upgrades are all unlocked just through playing the game.
Yeah, and they're persistent.
Lovely.
Oh, it's
There's so much right going on with this.
It's $3 and we're like telling everybody, just get it because
I can spend more money on on pizza.
Just don't even worry about getting it on sale. Just it's worth it at
oh my god,
the price it is. It is in early access. Don't let that stop you. And I say that
it's so playable,
very strongly.
It's so playable right now. It doesn't feel early access at all, like at all.
It feels like a 1.0 that's just getting more additions and polish.
That's exactly what it feels like. And I wonder if the developer took a gamble at pricing it at $3. Because apparently it's working for them. Like so many people I know are buying it and playing it and loving it.
They have over 21,000 reviews and 99% positive.
Yeah.
If that gives you any indication as to how good it actually is,
Like this honestly kind of feels like a more advanced version of like a Flash game that you'd find on Newgrounds in like 2006.
It is.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, the like theoretical difference between $0 and $3 is, I guess, not that massive. So,
yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I toy with it when I'm like, I got 10 minutes to kill. Let's see how long I can get this guy to survive. Like my longest run, I think, was 11 minutes.
I have completed it several times.
Wow.
I fail more often than I succeed, but it's one of those where you have persistent upgrades. There is that roguelite element to it, where you can buy permanent upgrades with the gold that you earn during each run. And you don't lose gold by dying. You get to keep it, and you can stockpile it until you can spend it on something. So it's not like you go back to 0 every time you play.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I can't. That I don't know if I found it through you, Spaz. I think I did, but it's just been gaining more and more momentum, and it's really great to see. It's really great to see such a indie success story like this one. So, did you mention the other game you were bouncing off between, or did you
No, there have been several. That was just the first. Nova Drift, which is in a similar vein.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yes.
So that just had a recent update.
Huge update. Yes.
Yeah, which added some changes to the way that the levels are generated, and it mixes up the enemies in a very interesting way because it's procedural now, or mostly procedural. And it's harder, honestly, earlier on than it is much later. And I play on a slightly elevated difficulty with more of the hazards in play. So my score is a little bit higher, but I fail a lot more. I still like it, though.
Right.
Then there is Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Been playing more of that. Another one I picked up recently is 3 Minute Heroes, which is similar to a cross between, let's say, Plants vs. Zombies and Retropolis. And I know you've played both of those, Brian. 3 Minute Heroes is literally that. You have to survive for 3 minutes each level. You place down cards to put down your units, towers, spells, whatever you want to use to defend your house. And in between levels, you acquire more cards, you upgrade the cards you have, acquire new units, and it's a really interesting little game. And
That's
then on
cool.
PS4... Oh, wait, actually, there is one more. Unpacking. Yes, I picked that one up and played for 10 hours, got through the story, loved it. I won't spoil anything because it is a very... it would be easy to spoil because there's no dialogue. It's the details you find out about the person's life that you are unpacking over the course of 8 moves. Those are details you just have to kind of glean for yourself based on the information given, the items that you see that carry with you from move to move, and the ones that are left behind. It's an interesting way to do a narrative, and I hope they do more in that style with different characters, so you see different lives being led. Because in that case, it goes over the course of about 20 years.
See, now that you've said that, it seems more interesting. When I first heard about it and saw the trailer, I said, oh boy, it's a lifting and packing game. Wow, go back to my days working in the factory.
Yeah, it's so much more than that. It is so much more than that. You can get through it.
Most things are.
Yeah. You can get through it in about 6 hours if you're going quickly, but about 10 hours if you're just taking your time with it and thinking about where you want to place things. There's also an option in the menu that you can place anything anywhere if you want to do it that way too. Work without the constraints.
Oh. Hey, a bot, you guys. Yay, we got a bot.
Yep, taking care of that right now.
Guess we're getting more popular.
Yay!
Yay!
Russian bots no less, really
rejoicing.
popular.
At least it's a sister bot.
Right, hold on.
So, Julie,
I don't think we legally have moderator permissions on YouTube. But might
No,
want to
I
try
do.
that later. Oh, could you deal with that then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was saying when I was dealing with it.
he
I
always
usually
does.
have to deal with it during the morning stream. So
Yeah, he always
Yeah.
does. It's great. Julie, what have you been playing lately?
Well, most of the time I've been playing a game where in real life they work my butt off. I actually had to put it back on at the end of my last shift. I won't go into it, but a lot of people have left and I've been taking up the slack because it's my job. I had been playing Star Trek with Welcome Back, Luke, for the first time in a long time.
Oh, good.
And Torsten and I have been playing. And if you'll bear with me, I will bring up. I have to take my hand off the button here. I will bring up what I've been playing on my Switch OLED, which I waited for till 4 a.m, where the person from Amazon delivered it because I was afraid because we got ports thieves in the neighborhood.
Oh, no.
I had been playing several things. The thing I had looked at and started playing, I wish I hadn't, is something called Pixark. And I have been trying, I'm determined after our lesson on tactics games to get a real handle on that. And I would think, having played Endless Space 2 through a couple times, I wouldn't have the problem that I have with Mechanicus, but I'm still having kind of a
they're
hard
very
time
they're
getting
very
on.
different games. They're very, very, very different.
And I also found XCOM, so I'm kind of working my way up to XCOM. But in the meantime, I have played. I played this. Normally, I hate side scrollers, but like I said, I got tired of one day of being kind of hidden up and upstairs in the top level in my room, and I said I want to go back where there's real people, and so I started playing on the sofa in a little game called Unravel 2, which it was a lot of fun, and so ever since I got this Switch, it's the first time I had a console since PlayStation, before PlayStation started having numbers after the word. And so it goes back a ways. And one of the things I have always wanted to play was Pokemon, and I had a chance to play Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I enjoy it, and I don't care what all the haters say. I've run into a lot of people who say, you haven't got a right to criticize this unless you're a game developer. And I said,
What?
I know a number.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I know. Yeah. They say, one person said, unless you're a game developer, your opinion is just that. And I said, look, if I take my car to be repaired, right, and it doesn't work long enough to leave the lot, I don't have to know how to build the car to know the job was a bad job. And I said, I know a game developer really well, and if he were to tell me, Julie, this stinks, I'd say, I don't care. I'm still going to play it because I enjoyed it. So
what, the Pokemon game stinks? Or
well, a lot of people say they don't like it because they've changed it around. They changed the way the combat works. The graphics are 3D now, which I think is outstanding. And I've had a great time playing it, and but also a couple of little games, kind of a one game called a Subsurface Circular, which is more like a book kind of thing. And I found a few little indie games that are just a lot of fun, and that's one of them. So, yeah, and I'm still determined to get a handle on tactics games. Played a lot of X4 And every Sunday night, we have a static group that gets together and plays Final Fantasy. And anybody is welcome to join us who wants to. Oh, and as Luke said, that anybody wants to join us on Star Trek Online is welcome to.
And don't forget, folks, Star Trek Online is free to play. And I don't know what you've heard about it. The space stuff is fine. Don't worry. I mean, don't worry about the ground stuff. It's not great. Just go in knowing it's not great, and you'll be fine. I mean, if you go in knowing that the ground stuff is, then your expectations will be properly set, and you'll be fine.
I haven't touched that game in a while, but I remember playing it to absolute hell and back.
There are a lot of things it does right.
Yeah.
And I would say there are certain missions where they just had fun. For example, the nod to the Magnificent Ferengi episode.
Wait, what?
They did in FTO. Yeah, they did. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good. That was a great episode.
They even had one of the Ferengi walking away from an explosion and putting sunglasses on. And he walks away from it because they just had fun.
Okay, well, that was great, and that was a great episode too.
Yes, it was.
And they're giving away 2 free ships. One you have to earn. One you just have to go in there and grab the tier 60 token.
I mean, I'll note that I'm on a hiatus from MMOs, but if I were still playing MMOs, that would be the one I would play.
Yeah, I forgot to mention I'm also playing Lord of the Rings Online. That's like the MMO I'm in right now. I finally got to Moria. Finally. Forever. Thorsten, what are you playing lately?
Well, I've got quite a list of games. I've seen that in the preparation to this podcast, and I thought, wow, did I really play so much games? Of course, Julie mentioned already Star Trek Online, and I've got to disagree a bit on the part you've said about the ground part. I like the ground part pretty much.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I find it. The problem I have with it is they make it. It feels like a lot of it is padded out more than it needs to be. Like they make the levels bigger, so you'll have to run around longer and spend more time in there. You know what I mean? So I just like. So that's what bugs me about it. But it's not like bad or anything. It just it just has a lot of fat that I feel could be trimmed. You know what I mean? And it just takes me out of it a little bit.
The understandable. Gameplay feels dated, is what I would say, because the ground combat hasn't changed all that much from its days before it went free to play. So there is that. And some of the missions are still, some of the legacy missions, the old legacy missions, very early on in the gameplay are still there. And they haven't changed all that much either. But space combat, on the other hand, that is fun. So
yeah, that's the best part of the game. No question.
Yeah, true, for sure.
What else are you playing?
The other is, of course, Inquisitor.
Yay!
Man, that's by far the worst and best recommendation you ever gave me. By far.
I'm so happy.
It's currently my go-to game if I don't know what to play.
It's great for that, isn't it? I think it's great for that because unlike a lot of MMOs where you're like, oh, here's a big map you have to run around, not MMOs, ARPGs where here's a big map you have to run around and kill all these things. It's like, no, you do one mission, you do one map, you're done. And if you want to do a second one, great. But if you have 15 minutes to kill, you can just do one mission and that's it. Really great.
Yeah. I'm really surprised how good this game is. And I hate to say it, because you know how I dislike Warhammer and the whole universe, and I really like this game. Another one, of course, is Approaching Infinity, which I've got so proficient in this game currently. It's really hard for me to die in that game by now. If I go back a few months, there was hardly a time I survived the third sector, and I'm able by now to play the game till the end most of the times. And that brings me to the next one, and from the same dev, that is The Curse of Yenda.
Oh yes.
Basically the same as Approaching Infinity, but in a fantasy environment, and damn, it had the same effect on me like Approaching Infinity, to be honest. I downloaded it and it didn't stop playing.
Wait, what was the last one called?
The Curse of Yendor.
Oh yes, that's his other game. That's right.
And there are a lot of other games I played in the meantime. Hellish Quad is another to-go game right now. That's an sword fighting and fencing combat game, and it's great.
Wait, what is it? What is it called?
Hellish Quad.
Hellish Quarter?
Oh, that's a unique one.
Yeah.
No,
Hellish Court.
Oh, Hellish Court.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that thing.
That's one. I generally don't like such combat games or beat 'em ups, but this one really got me. And I've got a lot of older games I'm playing again. Lunar Flight.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I discovered you could play it with a gamepad, and I really like it. Still like it.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
Very hard. It's very hard. But
God, but it's so good.
Pretty interesting. And it's a bit sad that the dev doesn't work on it anymore, or made a second part of it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I guess the dev doesn't do any games anymore. I guess that's the reason.
I can't say I blame them. I mean,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, another one I'm into back again is Ancient Frontier. Especially the Steel Shadows part. That's a hex-based space combat tactical game.
Oh yeah, that one. Right.
I think it's
repeat the name.
Ancient Frontier.
Ancient Frontier.
Ah.
It's a turn-based hex space combat thing that came out. God. 4.5 years. 4.5 years ago.
Yeah, and apparently it got a sequel? Question mark?
Kind of a expand-alone.
Yeah. And that's the one I'm playing currently. Is Steel Shadows game, and it has a pretty good story, I've got to say.
Yeah, I think Steel Shadows is the better of the two of them, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, for sure. It's and again, it has a pretty good story to it, with a pretty tragic ending, in my opinion.
It's currently on sale for $5. That's a pretty good price for this.
That's a steal for this game.
It's a pretty lengthy game, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, right. Around 30 story missions and 3 to 4 side missions per story mission.
God, that came out.
That's a lot of gameplay.
That came out at the end of 2018, and that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
What's that meme going around? It's like January was a long year, but we all got through it.
Or as I say, you know, can you believe that March 2020 was 6 years ago?
God.
It feels like it, doesn't it, though?
It so does.
Yeah.
It so does. Oh. That's a lot of stuff, Thorsten. Did you have any more you wanted to throw out there?
Then I've got Void Bastards.
Oh, that's so good.
That's an older game too, but I've finally managed to complete the first run of it, and I'm very, very surprised. Despite its very weird graphics, to put it that way, it's a pretty fun game. And I've played Heavenly Bodies a while, but let's put it that way. That game is very complicated. So this is that's from my part mostly.
That's quite a few games. That's get a lot of gaming in.
There's one I didn't mention, which is Aliens Fireteam Elite.
Oh, how is that?
I've been playing it on PS4, and you would not want to stream it, Brian. I know this for certain because there are indeed facehuggers. Yeah. They don't show up until the 4th chapter, but still, yeah, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like my thing. Like at all.
It's a good game as a co-op shooter, 3-player co-op shooter. I've been playing with my brother and his wife, and yeah, we have a great time with it, but it is not something for you, Brian. I can tell that for certain.
Yeah, you know me, man. I mean, I wonder how I'd feel about facehuggers now that I wear a mask every night on my face, which is
hey, free hugs.
Like I wear, like it wraps around my entire head. This thing, this APAP thing, it wraps around my entire head basically with this big mask on the front. So I wonder how I'd feel about facehuggers now that I wear that every night. Because I basically get a hug from this thing every night.
Awesome, incredible. So,
sir, what have you been playing?
Well, I don't have much to say because over the past couple of weeks while you've been sick, I've been surviving university, but I've made a mistake. A mistake called getting into Escape from Tarkov. It's a great game. I love it. Don't play it, please.
Oh, no.
You have so much to live for. It is. Can I go on about it for a bit?
Absolutely.
Because it's a game.
Go ahead.
Because it is a very specific issue I have. It is an excellent game with the perfect mechanics for the wrong genre. They took everything great. They made the best tactical shooter since Rainbow Fething 6. They made the best like gun handling mechanics since like combining like Stalker and original Rainbow 6 and Ghost Recon. And they slapped on a genre tag of Battle Royale. Because fuck you. And your time. And then they've decided, it's not bad enough. Let's just take the economy of EVE Online and slap on top of that.
Wait, what?
It has an EVE Online economy. It has like a freaking player. It has a player-driven market. If you die, you lose all your stuff. You don't take out into raid anything you can't afford to lose. It just straight up has EVE Online economy. Just straight up. Which is why I keep saying, this is an excellent game. Please don't play it. Save yourself.
I've watched some streamers play it because everyone's playing it. And I watched some streamers playing it. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on here. I think I would just run out of patience with all this.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't dislike it, but I absolutely don't recommend anyone plays it.
But it scratches a specific itch that you have for whatever it's
giving
you.
Non-zero, yeah, especially now that Stalker 2 got delayed even further and may or may not come out, assuming, well, if things get slightly upheaved in Ukraine, like they probably might be.
They're Ukraine. That developer is Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Always has been. It's how they know so much about Chernobyl and the local area, because it is the local area. But yeah, they said on explicitly, if the place if Ukraine gets invaded, they might have to cancel the game altogether, which is fair.
Completely understandable.
Completely understandable. Yes. I feel like out of all the reasons to cancel a video game, the iron boot of Vladimir Putin stomping down your door is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. No, there's going to be one guy on Steam. Well, why don't you just move to another country and develop there? And a big fuck you.
Tried.
A big fuck you to you.
They haven't. Okay. Well, first off, they're not big enough to try that, but the developers of Metro have actually done that. They moved to Malta because Ukraine was going through a lot.
Still is.
Well, yeah. Basically things aren't going great, and Stalker 2 may or may not happen, and Tarkov is the closest I can get to it as far as an effective, like highly detailed tactical shooter that is in Armor 3, because it's still fun. It's still more organized and less jank than Armor 3, which I know sounds difficult, but it just is. Trust me. Besides that, unless you want me to talk about tabletop RPGs, there's not much to talk about.
You can talk about tabletop RPGs. It's a game.
Okay, fair. It is a game, because I've gotten into the thing that I will shill for eternally and try to sell to everyone, and that is Flying Circus, of nothing to do with Monty Python, more with the original one, the chap called the Red Baron, because it's a very specific niche for a tabletop RPG game, in that it's a game about flying planes.
Oh wow!
More specifically, it's kind of an urban fantasy. Why are we on the right? Why are we on the BRB screen?
Oh, I don't know. Good question.
Can you check that real quick?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Huh.
Right. So what I was going to say is it's a tabletop RPG that is about flying. That is about being adolescent disasters, flying high-powered aircraft in a kind of urban, a kind of diesel punk fantasy 1920s thing. Now that by itself is an interesting pitch for people that care about this sort of stuff. But it's something that I've basically been playing on the weekly for the past couple months or so, and it is immensely fun. For two reasons. It was designed by someone that knows how to make form games into a good and effective narrative. It's based on Powered by the Apocalypse, and it's also designed by the same person that is very good at knowing how planes work. So it is a very specific niche, but it's a niche that appeals to me very directly.
It sounds a little Crimson Skies-ish, a little bit.
It is Crimson Skies-ish, though significantly lower tech. You're flying biplanes, and also it's Crimson Skies, but with adolescent interpersonal drama and everyone being a complete immature disaster. You're mechanically encouraged to be an immature disaster.
Oh, interesting.
Is that an RPG or is that a
tabletop game? Flying Circus.
Ah, interesting. Got to take a look at that. Sounds interesting.
I could send you the link afterwards. It is set in fantasy, not Germany.
I think I just found it on Drive-Thru RPG. I think that's it.
Yeah, that would be it. Yep, that's featuring a really snazzy red cover book that the author was slightly concerned about. Like short story there. At one point, she was extremely concerned about the red cover book because she went like it's too much like Dungeons and Dragons, and people kind of don't like, and people don't like Dungeons and Dragons, and also it's kind of a ripoff. And everyone went, "Please, Erica, keep the cover. It's cool." And then she released the book. And she went, "Oh, look! Like when I got images from the store shelves, and like images when people sent me, I really liked how the book cover turned out." And everyone was like, "Hey, what did we tell you, Erica? We told you to keep the cover." And Steampunk Valkyria Chronicles. Steampunk is a strong word because it's more like kind of fat. It's not steampunk by definition because there's very little steam. It is grounded in like real-ish 1920s tech, though with some occasional. What with the teen drama? Yes,
maybe definitely. A little bit diesel punk. Maybe
more diesel punk. Because there's some weird stuff like laser beams because there have to be. It is a fantasy game.
I was gonna say there's a dragon on this cover.
That's a dragon in the background. You don't want to mess with those. See, the book cover implies you can fight the dragon. You can't. The dragon just kills you.
Oh, well, that makes sense if you're flying biplanes made of wood and spit.
Yes, but yeah, that's something I've been playing, and it's really bad when I have to resort to RPGs when it comes to things I've been playing because I haven't been playing games a lot. And I'm the sort of person that tends to kind of settle onto one game and play it a lot. And I picked a bad game for that this time around.
Is this Flying Circus thing available in print, or is it only?
Yeah, you can absolutely buy it in print. Okay, you could, but it will come back. It'll come back to print on demand at some point in the near future. I'll actually ask Erica later about this because I can.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I love this. Looks like the kind of thing I would want to actually have a print. I love this cover, and this looks like something I would actually want a print version. I prefer
the art in this book is gorgeous.
Yeah, I prefer print versions of RPG books, honestly. So I would love a print version of this.
I'll ask later when it comes back up on sale and just send it over when that happens.
Great.
Besides that, I just remember another thing I've been playing a bit. Monster Hunter Rise is a thing that came out, and it's surprisingly good. I guess not surprisingly. I mean, it's been on the Switch for several months already, and people tested it out.
Monster Hunter Rise?
Yeah. I don't know if it's better or worse than Monster Hunter World, but it plays different. Like, World was an intentional departure from the series to be... it's an intentional departure from the series to play like